on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's some truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rest hit me up on the podium, I had a look and I showed them, you got a picture.
You gotta picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion, my peasants disgusting, why don't you act like a Hoffman, and go get to dust. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win, are you pretty like no.
I never anybody, but I got something to do with it. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's some truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rest keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture. Jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. And they will not get a chance Return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Johnson. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. These two teams, they met up in the opener a season ago in Detroit, and it was the Lions who came out on top 35-23. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdown passes in that game, 2 to rookie Kenny Galladay. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. To throw on 2nd down. Murray. He's going to loft one deep left. And this throw will be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
To throw again. Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Bynes. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Back 99, Philly, here we go! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bird. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or...
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Murray now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Bass in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the 50, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Murray eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Patriot!
To throw on 3rd down. Murray. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
If you rank one from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, one from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 of 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Here's Johnson. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the foot.
And that's caught inside the 30. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now Stafford. And his throw is incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. C.J. Anderson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Murray escaping the pressure right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Watch him now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Murray. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
All right, now, lucky 56.
From the gun on 3rd down. Murray. This is Johnson. He's got it. take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Lions now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down. Stafford now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Wasn't it fun in pregame standing downstairs and watching Matthew Stafford throw the football? I mean, that bad boy just whistled.
He can just rock it.
It just whistled by us, didn't it? But what is the one knock on him? Accuracy. Yeah. And that's what we just saw there, an incompletion on that throw downfield.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Back to throw, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 50 mans.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And it's caught inside the 5. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a first carry for their fullback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get it down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
So out now come the Lions. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Murray looking deep downfield. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Off the play fake. Murray. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Murray. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before break. Murray dancing to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'm guaranteed he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play. Stafford now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
To throw from his end zone. Murray. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Now Johnson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. 8 yards there, getting him out of danger. It's a first down. Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Leopard, Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Off play action. Murray rolling to his right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray, pass incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Murray. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Steps, and he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. The point after is good. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the 3rd quarter in Carson. Chargers have just stretched their lead with a score. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Again, it's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the 50 at Stafford. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the Notre Dame man. This is Theo Riddick. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in the running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on second down, Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Danny Amendola, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, Murray. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray eluding the pressure right. Room to run past midfield. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Throwing on first down. Murray. And that's caught left side. Seals-Jones with it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On 1st and 10, Murray escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Over! Watch him now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing again. Murray. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll get it up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And an alley to run. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually...
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my